Alright, letters of the alphabet tier list. Let's go.
A.
First off, we got A. A, easy A tier. Starting off pretty strong. There's a reason that this tier is called A tier. A is the first letter of the alphabet. A is awesome. It's iconic. It's just a pretty solid letter overall. It's not the greatest letter. It's a little overrated if I'm being honest, but it's, a pretty solid vowel. Not the best vowel, but it's up there. Can't go wrong with A. Straight A's. Just a solid, very nice letter. There's a reason this guy is the leader of the alphabet.
B.
Alright, next up, we got B. B is an easy S tier. B is very fun. B's got a very whimsical feel to it. It's bouncy, it's buoyant, it's the bruh letter. B's fun, I love B. Can't go wrong with a good B. Yeah, easy S tier for that one there.
C.
Alright, next up, we got the reason I wanted to make this tier list in the first place. We got C. I hate this letter. This is the worst letter in the entire alphabet. There is genuinely no reason for this letter to exist. It does two things. It makes a k sound and a s sound. But do you know what? We already have letters that do those exact things. We do not need another one. This is just stealing jobs from K and S. It is literally useless, and I hate this letter because it makes certain words just more confusing. Like now, you have to think, oh, is this word spelled with a C or with a K? Or maybe it's a CK. Like, it doesn't just steal the job from K, it just has to slide in there sometimes. Like, oh, I'm here too now. Like, it's so stupid. It makes no sense. Whenever this is a double C, it makes no sense. Like, any word that has two C's in it, could very well just be one C. It's stupid. And honestly, you know what? I'm making an executive decision here. This is not F tier. This is C tier. We're going to rename C tier to something cooler. Let's go with K. In honor of K losing its job to C, I'm going to give K C tier. It's now K tier. No more ABCs, now we're doing ABKs. Actually, you know what? I'm going to just do this right now. K is an S tier. I love K. K's awesome. K's super cool. K should have been cool, C is cool, but no, it should not be. C is crap. That's a good word for C to begin with, but no. K should be cool. Let's start spelling cools with K, okay? Oh, I forgot. There's one thing that C does that the other letters can't do, and that's when you combine it with H, it makes the ch sound. So why wasn't that just what C does the whole time? Why do we need to add a second letter to that? Like, the CH sound doesn't even make sense because that's not what C and H sound like when you put them together. It should be k, like a k, maybe more of a throaty h. But that's not what it is. It's ch. Like, ch is made with the front of your mouth, with your teeth. The C makes two sounds. K, which is at the back of your throat, and s, which is with your tongue. Ch is neither of those. It's not even close. Like, at least with the other H sounds, the H makes with T and S, it's sort of close, like a TH sound is kind of close to T, you make it, a T is with your tongue, and th is, with your tongue as well, at the front of your mouth, and then sh and s are pretty close, you can pretty easily slow those together, sh, that makes sense, but C just makes no sense. C should be ch, that's all that C does now, okay? The only time C is actually useful is when it has another letter with it. It's useless. Alright, end of C rant.
D.
Next up, we got D. D is pretty dope. I like D. It's not the greatest letter. It's, a little bit outclassed by another one that we're going to get to later. Is this B or K tier? I don't know. I'll give it a B tier. It's pretty cool. I like D. D's not bad.
E.
Alright, next up we got E. I talked before about how I don't think A is the best vowel, E is the best vowel. S tier is getting a little bit full already, but don't worry, we're gonna get to some bad letters later on. E's just solid. There's a reason every other letter in the alphabet secretly has E in it, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you got I, J, K, L, M, N, and then you got P, you got S, T, V, and you got Y, and Z, or Z. Every letter wants to be E. This is the cool letter. This is arguably the best letter. It's not my favorite letter, I feel like there's some other letters I prefer over E, but E is just so cool. Like, it's just one of the most used, I think it is the most used letter in English, you know? English starts with an E. This guy should have been at the front of the alphabet. Honestly, E kind of got cheated out of the first spot just because A is alpha. A's got history with being the first letter, but honestly, E's kind of like the silent leader of the alphabet. I'm tempted to rename A tier to E tier, but I feel like that would be disrespectful to A. A deserves A being A tier, you know? That's A's job. He's the leader. E's just the best one. E's the overachiever.
F is for friends.
Right, next up we got F. F gets a bit of a bad rep. He's the F word. He's fart. He's fat, you know? But he's pretty fun. I like the F sound. I don't know if it's quite worthy of A tier, but yeah, I'm gonna stick him in B. It's a high B though. F is fun. Yeah, he's fun. It's F for fun. F is for friends. F's a pretty chill dude, you know? It's just a fun noise to make. That's fun. I like that. I like F. Alright, G. G's a bit of a confusing letter. It's both a G and a J sound. Like, just pick one, bro. Pick one. Like, if you're gonna be stealing jobs, like, go all the way and do what C does. Don't just, like, sometimes take jobs away from J. Like, just be your own thing. Just be the G sound. That's all you need to do. The G sound is fun. It's kind of, you know, it's not great, you know, but it's okay. The J sound is like, we already have a letter that does that. We don't need another one. I'm gonna give this a K tier. It's not the greatest, but it's good. G is good. G is good. G is great. G's a very godly letter. G is godly, but you know, it could be better. Alright, next up we got H. I don't really get this letter. It doesn't really do much, you know? Like, a lot of accents will just drop the H, you know? You don't really need to say this letter. It's kind of pointless, if I'm being honest. It's not quite C tier, but it's D tier. Like, I don't know if there's a letter more deserving of just D tier. Like, the only time when H is useful is when it's combining with other letters to make completely new sounds. But, like, those letters should just be their own letters. Like, CH should be its own letter, SH should be a letter, and TH should be a letter. Why are some sounds letterless, but then you have other sounds which do not deserve letters that get letters? And trust me, we will get to those. But yeah, H is one of them, kind of, honestly. It's not like C, where it just doesn't deserve to be a letter at all. Like, it does make its own unique sound, but it's just kind of eh. Yeah, H is just a very, you know, breathy letter. It's just, I mean, like, there's not really any other way to just convey the sort of, like, sound than H, you know? It's, you know what? I'll give it low K tier. G is high K tier, H is low K tier. You know, it deserves to be up in K tier. It's not quite D, now that I think about it. It's got uses.
I what?
Alright, next up we got I. I it's a vowel, you know, vowels are cool. It's not one of my favorite vowels. It's not fun like O and U are, and it's not particularly important like A and E are. This guy thinks he's important, you know? I is its own word, and it's the most selfish word of all. For that, it loses points, but that's why it's not an A tier, if we're being honest, just because of just how selfish this letter is. It's fine. It does its job. It's cool. You know, there's a lot of words that are iconic, like iconic, you know? Iconic is an I. You know, it's the iPhone, iPods, and what have yous. E's kind of been taking an I over as like the digital letter, you know? It's fine. You could put an A tier. I wouldn't be opposed to putting an A tier, but I don't think it's quite A tier. I personally think it's a solid B tier letter.
J!
Alright, next up we got J. J is interesting. It's kind of made a little bit irrelevant by G, but I'm not gonna blame J for it. Like, I put K and S tier. Like, we have a C, but I put K and S tier, so J doesn't lose points for G's fault. G already had its own thing, and it decided to steal J's thing too. Like, G wants to be J so bad that we call it G, not G. We should call this guy G. This is G now, okay? We go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay? Actually, no, it's A, B, K, D, E, F, G. Sorry, I forgot. This guy doesn't exist anymore. A, B, K, D, E, F, G. Yeah, that rolls off the tongue way better than A, B, C, D, E, F, G, honestly. Anyway, back to, what was I talking about? J. Back to J. It's not quite A tier, but it's a cool letter. It's got like a sort of similar whimsy to B, you know, it's jumpy, it's jelly, jubilee. He's got a very fun ring to it. It's cool. I feel like in most of its whimsical words, it's kind of carried by other letters. Like jelly is fun because of L, jubilee is fun because of B and L, jump is fun because it ends with a very satisfying from M and P, which we'll get to later, but there's some pretty good letters, so it's alright though. I think it deserves B tier.
La 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 la.
Alright, next up we got L. L is weird. It's a weird sound. Like with most consonants, it's a very definitive sound, like a B or a K or a D. This is L. Like you were about to say like a D or a T, but then you just kind of like decided not to. You're like, yeah, it's weird. I don't like L. L's kind of weird. It could be a fun letter, you know? L's a lovely letter, but it's just kind of weird. It's just a strange letter, I think. The sound it makes is just kind of... Alright, next up we got M. M's easy S tier. M is such a cool sound. It's such a warm, lovely sound. It's mother. It's milk. It's marvelous, magnificent. It's amazing. A is amazing, but M is amazing, you know? It's cool. I love M. There's not much to say about M, but it's just an S tier letter. Easy S tier.
Gentlemen, I have come to say the end.
Alright, N. N is like if M were like evil. N is no, it's nothing, it's nobody, it's the sad letter. But it's fun, it's cool. It's just not as cool as M. M is just the cooler version of N. Like, I could honestly put N in B tier, but it's fun for the same reasons as M is. It's just warm, solid sound, you know, it's not harsh like most of the other letters are. It's just this, you know, nice Oh, I also forgot, there's one more combined letter that should really be its own thing, and that's N and G. Now, this one, it kind of makes sense because G is the sound you make at the back of your throat, the G sound. N is this like sound you make with your tongue. You put those together, you get that sound at the back of your throat there. That sound. Yeah, that honestly should be its own letter. But out of all the letters that deserve to be letters that aren't, it's probably the least important because if you put an N and a G together, that's kind of the sound you get anyway. So I understand why it's not a letter, but yeah, it really should be. Oh! Alright, next up we got O. O's pretty cool. O's nice. It's probably the most fun vowel, honestly. I don't know how to describe O. I can't explain why this is A tier, but it's just, you know, apart from just saying it's a vowel and vowels are awesome, honestly, it's probably one of the most underrated letters. It should be used more often. I think U tries to be O sometimes a little bit too hard, but then again, O also tries to be U sometimes, so... But the two of them are an iconic duo. Like, O and U go together really well. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna rank U right now. U! I think U is slightly better than O, deserving of S tier, just because it's a little bit more fun. You can't spell fun without U. It's also, if you say it, it's you. Like, I has the problem of being too selfish, but then you is the exact opposite. It's you. It's not I. It's you. That's pretty cool. I like you. Use a cool letter. I said the S tier wouldn't get too full, but it looks like it really is going to get too full, because next up we got another easy S tier. This is P. This is just B if it were cooler, and B is cool. It's... Oh, P is powerful. It packs a punch, you know? It's... Ugh. It's like B's quirky sibling. It's the same sound, but it's just got more of an oomph to it, you know? B is a warm, medium sound. P is this harsh, like, pow. It's cool. I love P. P's awesome. It gets a little bit of a bad rap. It's the poo-poo pee-pee letter, you know? But that's not its fault. Honestly, that's funny. That makes it one of the most whimsical letters. Honestly, if this is a whimsy rating, P would be, like, near the top. It wouldn't be at the top, but it would be one of the highest because of, like, it's just such a cool letter.
Q.
You want to talk about useless letters? Let's talk about Q. Why is this a letter? Why is this a letter? It makes no sense. It does one thing, and it makes a qu sound, but it only does that if you already have another letter. By itself, does nothing. It's literally just, there's a K and a U next to each other. Let's turn that K into a Q. There's no reason for this to be a letter. This should be deleted. Anytime, like, Q is seen by itself, it makes a K sound, right? and then whenever else you have a Q, it's got a U next to it. Like, it's so dependent on U, so parasitic, that it's gotten to the point where, like, does, like, Scrabble, like, put the U on the Q? Or am I thinking of something else? Q will just be automatically paired with U, because you can't have a Q without a U, right? Yeah, Q's useless. Moving on.
Arr! Here be a fine R.
R. R's got the same problem as L. It's just kind of like a, why is this a consonant kind of thing? What sound is this? You're not actually making a noise with your mouth like you're doing with B or K or D, you know? It's like R, like I'm kind of squishing my mouth together and like like what? How is this a thing? How is this a consonant? But yeah, it's not a whimsical letter at all. It's like, it's kind of boring. It's the letter, like you stick it onto vowels to make them just worse. I don't know. It's a K tier. It's not quite D tier. Like, it's got a use. It's the same as H and L, where it's like, I guess this can be a letter, you know, sure. But yeah, it's fine. Yippee! Alright. There's a reason it's called S tier. S is S tier. I hate C so much. It's just trying to be two S tier letters. S and K are so cool. Yeah, they're so cool, you know? So cool. I know C is cool, but it really shouldn't be. Let's start spelling cool with K, please. Yeah, S is... There's a reason it's S tier. Like, S is so cool that even though A is the first letter, we decided that S should be above A just because. S is awesome. It's the Superman logo, you know, S for hope or whatever.
Does your thing really stand for hope?
Yes, it does.
But it looks like an S.
It's got a fun little whimsy to it. It's like a snake, like a hiss sound. It's a bit evil and cunning sometimes, but it's also super swagger. It's fun. It's cool. I like S. You can't go wrong with S. It's a cool sound. Like, in terms of like consonants that aren't really consonants, this is like kind of one of them. L is like if someone tried to make an N, but then kind of like failed. S is like if someone tried to make an N, but was like, okay, but what if I like added a whistle to it? Like, I'm not going, I'm going, that's cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to...
Alright, next up we got T. T is just a cooler version of D. Same reason P is a cooler version of B. It's just got more of a kick to it, you know? K is a much cooler version of G. P is a cooler version of B. And T is a cool version of D. I like the letters that just pack more of a punch, you know? T is the top. T is titular. T's cool. T's got a very proper sense to it, you know? T is kind of getting underrated, honestly. Like, we're dropping our T's in English. It's becoming a silent letter, honestly. Even in the word silent, you can just say silent. You don't need to say the T. It's kind of sad. T's a bit underrated. We should start saying our T's more, I think. V. Next up we got V. V is like F. I think, unlike with, I said P is cooler than B, T is cooler than D, and K is cooler than G. I think the opposite is true for F and V. I think V is slightly cooler than F. Not cooler enough to quite warrant A tier, but this is a very high B tier. V is fun. It's fun for the same reason as F. It's like I'm biting my lip and I'm pushing a sound through, but instead of a sad little it's a you know, it's an angry letter. Yeah, it's got power to it, you know? It's very, very strong, you know? There's not much to V. V is an underused letter. I don't know if it's quite underrated, but it's... yeah, it should be used more. I think V gets grouped in at, like, the end of the alphabet with the other goth letters. Like these guys. You know, V, W, X, Y, Z. You know, the pointy ones that kind of don't get used very much. But V's cool. V should be used more. I like V.
W.
Alright, next up. Oh, you got W. Why is this a letter? What's the point in W? It's just another vowel. It's just like I'm gonna do Y as well.
Wow!
I'm gonna talk about these guys. W and Y. These are just vowels pretending to be consonants. Y is such a vowel that it literally sometimes is a vowel. Okay? Like, why do these exist? Like, that word Y has no consonants in it. That's just a bunch of vowels stringed together. If you say any word with a W in it really slowly, it's just a U or an O sound, you know? Whoa. It's just a very sharp U sound. That's all it is. And Y is just a sharp E sound or a sharp I sound. There is no reason for these guys to exist other than we ran out of ideas for consonants, so let's just make the vowels consonants now. And like W is extra stupid because it's not even a double U. It's like, I guess the sound is kind of a U sound, but if anything, it should be called half U. It's not a double, it's a double V. Why out of all letters is this the one that like breaks the format of being a singular sound that describes what it does? Like every other letter makes its own sound. You know, you got A, B, C, D, E, all of them. But then you get to W, and it's like, did the W go at the end of W? Is it like a W? Like, why? Just call it like we or something. Just let's call this letter we, guys. It's not W X Y Z. It's we X Y Z. Okay? This is we now. Okay? This is not W. This is we. It's just kind of pointless. Same for Y. I like Y better than W. It at least tries to, like, in its name, explain what it does. You know, Y. You know, it's got that E sound at the end. But it's still pointless. Like, you could just put like an I at the beginning of any word that begins with a Y and just pronounce it fast. I don't know why this needs to exist. You know? Yeah. These are dumb. These are stupid.
X.
Alright, moving on to more stupid letters, we got X. Like, so C took jobs from K and S. X was like, okay, I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna only do it when the two of them are together. X is a K and an S sound combined. You want to talk about useless letters? You know, honestly, this might even be deserving of C tier. Like, I kind of want to keep C tier reserved just for C, just because of how much I hate this letter, but X honestly could go in C tier. Just because it's the same problem as C. There's no reason for this to exist. Just put a K and an S next to each other. Like, is that so hard? Like, the only time this doesn't make a K and an S sound is when it sometimes makes a Z sound for some reason. It's not enough to steal jobs from K and S, but now you gotta steal them from Z too. Like, why? Z is easy S tier, by the way. It's the cool goth version of S. I think S is still better. Same reason P is better than B. Same reason T is better than D, but it's still cool. Is it quite S tier? I don't know. Maybe this should be A tier. Just because S tier is getting kind of full, maybe I'll move this down to A tier. But this is like a high A tier. Z's probably the most underrated letter in the alphabet. It goes at the end. It's like stuck right at the end of the alphabet, alongside all the dumb, stupid letters like W, X, and Y. But no, this is the cool one. You got V and Z shouldn't really be down here with these guys. Put Q and C down there. Yeah, Z, I like Z. It's zany. Z doesn't have enough good adjectives. We need more Z words. Come on, guys. What are we doing here? Z is so underrated. Like, just give it more to do. S, honestly, sometimes is put in places where a Z should go. S is maybe a little bit too overrated, honestly. Like, it's cool. It's arguably the best letter, but it's a little bit overrated. Z should be allowed to do its own thing too, right? Like, these are distinct letters. Why has S got to be doing Z's job too? It ends up just being confusing. Like, some spellings will even use Z instead of S, which they should. I said S tier wouldn't get too full, but it looks like it did, because yeah, there's just a lot of cool letters. Not as many terrible letters as I thought, but yeah, there's a couple of real stinkers here. Honestly, you could delete these letters from the alphabet and we'd be fine. Just have these guys cover these 5 letters. Like, the ones in K tier, like, you can't delete these ones, especially G. These ones are at least their own distinct sounds, and you can't really get rid of them. They have really important uses. But yeah, these guys, you could delete anything in D tier and below, and the English language will be completely fine. Just have these guys do it instead. Yeah, that's the tier list. Very top-heavy tier list. I did not expect that. Are there any ones I would demote now that we've got the full tier list out? Maybe U shouldn't be quite S tier. I think I overrated U. Like, it's cool, it's fun, but it's like, does it deserve to be this much higher than the rest of the vowels alongside E? No, I don't think so. I think it can go down in A tier. I think it's a solid A tier. I think that looks a little bit better for me. Yeah. There's nothing I would promote here, no. Except maybe G. I think I was a little bit harsh on G, but I still don't like it. It's kind of weird. Like, it's trying to be too many things. Just stick with G. Bro, just be G. Don't be G. Just be G. Okay? Leave J alone. Like, let J do his own thing, okay? Yeah. Well, let me know what you guys think. in the comments down below. And that's comments with a K, by the way, alright? I'm gonna see if I can get YouTube to change the comment section to the comment section. Yeah, get out of here. Hate this letter. I don't have anything else to say. That's the tier list. Thanks for watching. Yeah, why are you watching this? Who's watching this? Why did I make this? This was a waste of time. Oh well, it's done now. Bye.